Okay, we are now joined by Jimmie Johnson, driver of the number 48 Lowe's Cobalt Tools Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. The six-time NASCAR Sprint Cup Series champion has 2 wins this season and currently sits 6th on the chase grid. So, Jimmie, just talk a little bit about your season so far and your outlook for this weekend.
Obviously coming off of a nice off weekend, spent a lot of much-needed time with my family, and feel like the battery is charged and ready to go for the final stretch of the regular season, then obviously head into the most important part of the year for us, which would be the chase. A lot of hard work went on during that break that we had, and just judging by excitement from Chad all the way through Mr. Hendrick, we're definitely turning over some stones and hopeful to bring a little better product to the racetrack week in and week out. We've been struggling at times, trying to produce speed and lap time of late and making mistakes in the process. Still rallying with some decent finishes from time to time, but then again, still having some bad luck, and I think Watkins Glen kind of speaks to that as well. So, and also self-inflicted mistakes. So, looking forward to a good clean race here at Bristol, which is obviously a interesting place to have those expectations or desires. There's usually nothing clean or simple at this racetrack, but if we can do that and get through here and close out the regular season strong, we're gearing up. And I think come chase time, middle of the chase, the way things are looking back at the shop and the excitement I see through all the departments, we're expecting a good late season surge for Hendrick Motorsports.
Okay, we'll take our first question from Al and then go to Woody.
Hey, Jimmie, Al Pearson, Auto Week. Looking back when you retire and you're on your rocking chair, will it bug you at all that you've not won at every track, Homestead in particular, where you're 0 for 15? Will it be a little glitch that you...
Well, it's not over yet.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying...
Did I miss an announcement or something?
There. But would it bother you?
No, I'm with you. No, it won't. It is not something that has been on my radar from a goal standpoint. Again, I wanted to win a race, and then when that happened, I had to start changing my goals quickly. And that was my dream from my mid-teens or late teens when I thought NASCAR could be a career path for me. So I've exceeded all my expectations. Sure, it'd be awesome to do it. If I can, it will mean a ton, just like many other things that I've been very fortunate to accomplish. But it's not what will. I won't sit in the chair and be upset over that one. Not that.
Okay, Woody.
You came with MRN. Jimmie, just wanted to ask you to look ahead a little bit, going back to Michigan with the even lower downforce package, your impressions of it and the idea of going back there as opposed to trying it at another track.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough position that we're in, but I'm thankful that the teams, and it's the biggest burden on the teams, and then certainly NASCAR, and being open-minded to trying these lower downforce packages. We've seen a lot of great things in the 2016 season with the lower downforce package. It's hard to say that Michigan is the best track to try it. From the driver's standpoint, we've asked for slower center of the corner speeds, and Michigan has the highest center of corner speeds. So to try this package there, I get it. I'm not sure it gives us exactly what we would need. I'd love to see it on a short track. I'd love to see it on a 1.5 miles before we'd make a decision to move on. But the truth of the matter is we don't have that luxury, especially when we get into the chase. We can't take this to a Texas or even Richmond coming up, which isn't in the chase. But it's just very difficult to pull off and develop a product. But everybody is trying. So I'm very excited about it. I think it is good to go back a second time to Michigan, let the teams have another shot at it. From my standpoint, the first Michigan with the lower downforce, it was still Michigan. It still raced the same. It was still tough to pass. And it's been that way ever since we've resurfaced the racetrack. So I don't put a lot of weight in the package is the culprit there. I'm going back a second time with it. Hopefully, we refine our cars and we can race a little bit better. But again, if I had a perfect world, we could have started the 17 process early in the year, pick some, tracks that are more common on the schedule and get a better feel for it. But it's just not the situation we have.
Okay, we'll come up to Pete and then over to Jim.
Pete Iacobelli, Associated Press. Jimmie, you've obviously been in this situation before where you're in the chase, it's the end of the season. how do you manage this end part of the regular season when maybe there are other guys out there willing to take some chances that you may get caught up in, or other racers may get caught up in, because they want to get in the chase too?
And fortunately, we're locked in the chase. So if it is somebody trying to make the chase and something happens, we'd be bummed that it would affect us, but it doesn't prevent us from getting in. And honestly, it gives us an opportunity to take chance too. And we're starting this week with a new front tire changer, so it's nice to get some reps there. A longtime member of our team, Cam Waugh, had to pick up and unfortunately leave the race team to do what was right for his family, and isn't with us any longer, so it's going to be nice to get some reps. We also would love to have momentum on our sides from a pit stop standpoint, a consistency of running up front standpoint. The pressure that comes with fighting for a championship is really intense, and we feel that if we're able to put our team in that race-winning environment, it better prepares you for that. So that's really the goal, to close out the regular season and to head into the postseason.
Okay, Jim.
Jim under motorsport.com. This is sort of a follow-up on that question, but a lot of people would, if we didn't have the current chase format, would probably be looking at your statistics and saying, gosh, recently, and saying they need to, what are they doing to address their problems? But the kind of attitude appears to be, they're in their chase, we're not there yet, there's plenty of time. But it sounds like from when you're talking, the way you're talking, that you guys are not resting on your laurels and are trying to address the things before you get to the chase.
Oh, for sure. I hadn't thought of it from that standpoint. If it was the old format, statistics wouldn't be good. And I also think we wouldn't have taken as many risks, trying different setups, different things that have gone on. But it's certainly, no matter which format it is, it hasn't been a great year for us. We won a couple times early, showed some early season strength, and it's been a tough summer. So nobody knows it more than us, and we want to be better. And not only the team, but all of Hendrick Motorsports is working really hard to get back to where we want to be. Unfortunately, there is time, and fortunately, it's the chase format, so a lot can happen still before the season's up.
And I want to ask you a quick question about William Byron. That you guys added him at Hendrick Motorsports this week. He said he grew up as a Jimmie Johnson fan. I just wondered if you paid much attention to him and what you thought of him.
Yeah, I've definitely been paying attention. We live in the same neighborhood, and I can recall him trick-or-treating at my house when one of the rare opportunities we were home. So I absolutely know who he is, and I've gotten to know him. Seen him around home. Think he's an amazing talent, great head on his shoulders, and I'm very excited that he's under the Hendrick umbrella now. And hopefully we can take advantage of his youth and great talent and give him a great run. Excited that he's on the team.
Okay, we've got time for just a couple more questions, so we'll go with Bob and then Jeff, and Jimmie will be available for a few more minutes off stage afterward.
Bob Pockris, ESPN. How are you going to know if any of these improvements are working, considering you got two short tracks, the 2017 package, and Darlington, which I don't know relates to anything else?
Yeah, I mean, we are shooting blind a bit. I think that Michigan will help some. Yes, it is a totally different package. Darlington will be a good indication for us where things are at. Granted, it's not the same shape, but you have similar speeds to the 1.5 miles. So I think Darlington will probably be the best gauge for us. And then obviously get into the chase. The chase week to week is a big part of it. We need to continue building strength from week to week.
Okay, Jeff.
Jeff Gluck from USA Today. Jimmie, if the bottom does turn out to be the preferred line this weekend, and it turns out that it's the old Bristol, so to speak, does the bump and run become more acceptable than it is on another weekend? Do drivers, are they okay with that, or are you going to get annoyed if somebody does that to you?
You're never annoyed when you're passing it out, but you're always annoyed when it happens to you, regardless of circumstances. I think you're more tolerant if it's, it might sound crazy, but if it's for the win. If you're running 15th and get wrecked for 15th, it doesn't make a lot of sense. It's an interesting question, and it depends. If you're a chase contender, if you've won a bunch this year, you're probably more relaxed on it. If you're looking at the first one of the season or opportunity to get into the chase, and somebody dumps you or knocks you out of the way, you're going to respond differently. And getting moved is one thing, getting dumped is another. So I feel like that this car, the way the bumpers match up, it's much easier to have casual contact and not crash a guy. So there definitely could be some bumping and banging, but you've got to go to some great lengths to dump somebody. And if that happens, I think the person's going to be upset, period.
Jimmie, we appreciate your time. Good luck this weekend.
Cool. Thank you.